let's get to Hell in a Cell, the big pay-per-view after the Stinkmeister that was Battleground. We have something that could be of some redemption. And let's start off with the pregame show. Lovely on YouTube. We have Curtis Axel, Intercontinental Champion, versus the hottest thing in wrestling right now, big old Biggie Langston. And this is what we were talking about earlier on in our podcast here. Should there be a slow burn, or should they just give him?
No, I think it's time to give him the IC title. Axel is proving that he's no good with it. Biggie is on his way up. The IC title just gives him some more leverage to be in better matches with other guys. I think it's time.
Yeah, the reason why the tag belts are done, as you're saying, it could have happened. It could have happened to Hell in a Cell. Vince made the call. Let's have it happen on TV. But also because all the heels were having all the belts, so we have to have a face team or somebody who's a face do it. This could be the next step in having one more face with a belt, just not the world title belts. And therefore give Biggie a run with it. And it's just so quick, but you know something? If it's lightning in a bottle.
Been around, right? He's not new.
Yeah.
He was at WrestleMania last year. Like, it's not like he hasn't been around. I think to build him up, have him beat some guys, I think he needs it, right? Because he needs a little bit of a title reign where he's going to win some matches, and he's going to go against some good competition.
Yeah. Hey, you know something? It would make for a good feud with Sandow and all that kind of stuff if he won the belt. I will go on a limb. I think they'll try to get this lightning in the bottle with Biggie right now and give him the belt hot and
well, there's a reason why he's given the rub and is being around with Punk, right?
Yep, exactly. Though I like having Curtis Axel with a belt going into Survivor Series with the Heyman thing, but I'm going to say I'll go with Biggie Langston. What do you think?
Biggie. Master of the five.
Right. Five. Oh, if he brings that out of Hell in a Cell, oh man, that'll be interesting. That'll just send the fans crazy. Divas Championship match. We have AJ versus Brie Bella. Talk about they tried. You got to give them credit. They tried. I'll say AJ.
Yeah, AJ's going to retain. There's no reason to take the title off of her. There's nobody that's a real competitor to her or competition for her right now. She keeps the belt and keeps on going. I think that they should hold on to that belt with her until they're ready to bring up
Karma.
What's her name from NXT?
Yeah. Yes, indeed. I'll
Paige.
give that one. Paige. There you go. I will Karma back. I'm calling it. She's gonna be coming back. She's gonna come back. Tag team champions, we're talking about them earlier on our predictions here. Cody Rhodes and Goldust versus Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins versus the Usos. Those Usos are goofs. Or goofsos. That's what they are. Here we had a 3-team fight. Couldn't the Rhodes have fought a little bit with the Usos at the same time? Instead of at the very end have the Usos just smiling their faces off? He's saying, hey, we're at the they're smiling because they're actually getting paid for being on the pay-per-view. I guess that'll make them happy. But there should have been like a major stare down. Like the Usos should have had the belts. They would have picked it up and they would have handed over the Rhodes, and the Rhodes would have grabbed it, and then they would have had a little tug of war. That's all they needed to do.
I think the one guy should have went, ooh, so, and then Goldust does his thing. Air bites him.
Exactly. There should have been a little more tension between those.
Well, that could happen on SmackDown still.
That could. I doubt it, but it could. Predictions, I don't think the Shield are going to win.
No.
Cody and Goldust are too soon, unless they really want to break the team, but I don't think it's too soon for them to lose the belts. The Usos need the belts. They need them, but I think they're going to be the ones getting pinned. So I'm thinking it's going to be Cody Rhodes and Goldust beating the Usos, and Shield doesn't lose because they weren't even figured into it. So it's like, okay, so I think that's what's going to happen.
I agree. Okay. I agree with you. I think that that Rhodes and Rhodes are they're gonna retain, but I also think this could be a really good, really entertaining match.
Oh, if somebody doesn't overjump everybody.
And I expect, don't discount the idea of another tag team getting involved because they feel shafted. I could also see the reason that Cody and Goldust are going to retain the titles because I foresee them going into a feud with the Real Americans because I think those are the guys that are probably going to take the titles off of them, and then you have Real Americans versus Usos feud going further. Or if the Usos win, then the Real Americans enter the picture after that.
Yes, I like it. I absolutely love that idea. Yep, I think it'll be Cody and Goldust beat.
Isn't it great that we're actually talking about tag teams?
Tag teams?
And you can foresee any one of them being the champions. Like 2 years ago, the Usos, you would have thought nothing of them, right? Jobber tag team.
Nope.
Kind of like the Matadors are now in 3MB. Those are your jobber teams.
Tons of funk.
Yeah.
There's always got to be the jobber team
yeah.
for the funk and wagnalls. Exactly. No, that's how long do you expect to see the Rhodeses with the belts?
No, it's not going to be an extended title reign because I think eventually Goldust is going to turn on Cody. Because you can see the old Goldust is kind of coming back. I'm just praying that they do at least one segment with Booker and Goldust. All I want to see is Booker and Goldust. It's got to happen soon, man, because that's TV gold right there.
Right, exactly. It's all the anticipation now, right? So exactly. Let's talk about a match added onto the pay-per-view just as of today, and of course it is with the Real Americans versus those stupid frickin' Matadors. Thank God, old Uncle Zeb decided to bring out the bullwhip, baby, in Memphis. Bringing out Betsy in Memphis is the greatest thing ever because that's a nice little tip of the hat to Dutch Mantel and the history that he has in that town with Jerry Stupid Lawler, that stupid Kings of Wrestling. That's not the Kings of Wrestling I want to see on WWE. No. I want to see the real Kings of Wrestling. That's right. But, that was horrible. Seeing Dutch Mantel bring out Betsy and using it, that's just perfect. And that's no bull. I hope. Is it wrong for me to hope he whips that ball?
I hope he whips him while Cesaro's spinning him.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, here's my question. We have a new tag team with the Matadors. We have a team that people are loving, which is the Real Americans. What do you expect to see?
There's no doubt Real Americans win this match. Or I could see the Matadors stealing a win just to prolong that feud a little bit longer until the Real Americans are ready to go for the tag team titles. But with that all being said, the Real Americans are going to win the feud, whether it's just a one-off match or whether it happens over time for a few weeks.
I unfortunately am going to say the Matadors win. It's going to be simple. That little bull. Yeah. We're more hyped up about the bull and frickin'.
You call him BS, Joe?
I'm calling BS. Absolutely, because he'll start chasing good old Zeb around. Mm-hmm. And then that'll distract the Real Americans, and then the Matadors will come and do their finisher. And who's going to get the pin? Who's going to get pinned? Who's going to get pinned. Nope.
Well, Cesaro always takes the pin.
He always takes the pin. So he's going to get pinned again, which is a crime against humanity. That's what that is. And so that's what's going to happen because they're hyping this whole the Bull versus Good Old Zeb. So therefore they're going to make that the key to the win for the Matadors. And as much as I hate saying that, bitterness in my mouth. I don't want to see. I want to see the Real American.
Could be worse in your mouth.
Could be. Thank you. There you go. Don't bring up the John Cena video package again. There you go.
I was going to say, but whatever.
There you go. All right, let's bring up CM Punk versus Ryback and Paul Heyman. Handicap Hell in a Cell matches it's just
here's what I need to see happen. I need to see another Paul Heyman guy show up to beat the shit out of Punk, or I need to see Axel get involved and Big E coming to the rescue and helping out. I need to see something like that. Who wins? I don't care. Probably Punk doesn't win again
because he won at the other one, right? So now it's time for Ryback to look strong. Exactly. I think it's Ryback's time to win this one due to shenanigans because it comes down to it. Punk lost 2-on-1. That keeps his kind of image kind of right? So Paul will do something, probably low blow to Punk. Punk will stumble into the shell shock, whatever it's called, and then that that wins it, right? You will see shenanigans. You probably see Axel, see Big E come down. I know your dream would have Brock Lesnar, but they're not going to waste Brock Lesnar on a show up on Hell in a Cell. Maybe Survivor Series because it's one of the 4 key, but not at this. So I say Ryback's winning this one.
Speaking of Brock, did you hear that he might be moving to Saskatchewan?
Got this after he badmouthed our lovely.
No, he said that could happen anyway. His brother lives in Saskatchewan.
Oh, really? Oh, he says, what's up there? Nothing but wheat and nothing.
Perfect.
Oh, I like
exactly
that.
Exactly what he likes.
And hunting too, so there you go. Oh, he'd love that. Good for him. Saskatchewan's the best place. There you go. Except for Ontario. Well, Ontario sucks. We gotta get out of it. We gotta get out of this province, man. We gotta go over Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan.
They love it. They love their Rough Riders.
Yeah, exactly. Green Riders. And
Green Riders, baby. It's the only team in town. That's right.
Only team for miles.
All right, let's get to one of the big question marks of this pay-per-view. World Heavyweight Champion Alberto Del Rio versus John. I came back way too early, Cena. Who's going to win?
Good question.
Do you make a star, an even bigger star, or somewhat of a star out of Alberto Del Rio by making Cena tap to the arm breaker? Or do you see all the fans happy seeing John Cena back? Is this a ploy or is it for real? And that's what we have to predict.
Yeah, that's the thing is I would book it if Cena's not completely healthy. I would book the match to have Del Rio, yank on his arm and put him out of action again. Absolutely. But for some reason, I just get the feeling that Cena's going to be the World Heavyweight Champion by the end of the night. It would be an interesting thing if Cena wins the title, then Del Rio jumps him after and yanks on his arm and forces him out. Yeah. And then a returning Rey Mysterio comes to his aid to set up a feud against Alberto Del Rio.
And even better than Damien Sandow will come down.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That might be the finish right there, Sandow. Right.
No, they'll save him. He's got to cash in around the old after Survivor Series thing. Here's my prediction. We're going to see, of course, a lot of arm work.
Yes.
A lot of arm work. Too much arm work in my
that Cena won't sell.
He'll sell and all of a sudden
be laying on the ground, then somehow just stand up and pick up Del Rio with one arm and throw him through the announce table off the top ropes, because that's what Cena does.
Exactly. Super Cena, that's right. I see Alberto Del Rio winning by disqualification. Why? Because he can't beat Super Cena. He's doing everything. He put him in the arm breaker. He gets to the ropes. He's doing all this and that. So then he's going to grab a chair. He's going to bash John Cena straight in the head. He's going to put his arm in the chair and do the old breaker thing. He'll jump on off the second rope, stomp on it. He goes, and then Cena will be injured. His arm will be injured again. And then we have him coming back full force at Survivor Series. Therefore, people paid to see John Cena. I'm going to say Survivor Series because they need Cena. So it's like, okay, because they have nothing else going on right now, so they need Cena. So basically, so Cena's hurt. They'll say, can he come back for Survivor Series? Blah, 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 blah. And then you have Cena come back then.
I'm going to go the opposite. I say Cena's going to win the world title, and you're going to see him on SmackDown more because they want to bump up SmackDown's attendance figures and the ratings. So you're going to see him doing both shows.
Okay. And SmackDown's taped, so that might help a little bit too. But I say this, see, and that's the thing, right? They got their money for Cena, right? For coming back in this. They got their pay-per-view money, boom, like that. And then they can just use that, knock him out, have another big return at Survivor Series to bump up their numbers even more so, have Cena videos of him, trying to get back into the thing, his arm is destroyed, whatever, blah, 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 and then have him beat Del Rio at Survivor Series. Boom, pays for Survivor Series because now Del Rio's a bigger jackass for hurting Cena like he did, and bigger heel and better. I go that way. So I say Alberto Del Rio loses to John Cena, but by disqualification.
See, that's the thing. To me, that is most logical sense. So that's why I'm not going to say that's going to happen.
He's going to bust.
Cena's going to win, but Del Rio's going to bust on his arm either way. Somehow Cena's going to pull it out. It hinges on his health. You could have Cena as the World Heavyweight Champion and not wrestle for a little bit if he only can wrestle like say once per month or pay-per-views and once on Raw. Have him in some tag matches.
Yeah. How come John never tags in? Don't ruin the illusion, kid. Yeah. He's there. That's good. All right, and then we get to our final match, at least for now. I'm sure there's about 5 more to be named on Friday after SmackDown. Randy Orton versus Daniel Bryan, WWE Championship Hell in a Cell match, special referee Shawn Michaels. It all depends on if they really truly believe Daniel Bryan is going to be world champion.
I think this match is more about Triple H and Shawn Michaels than anything. Because I really think that, and if I'm a betting man, I'm betting that Triple H and Shawn Michaels have a match at WrestleMania.
But he's retired.
Nope, not anymore, because Triple H is going to screw over Shawn Michaels because Shawn wants to call it down the middle, and Shawn's going to get knocked out by the Big Show because the Big Show's going to turn heel. He's going to knock out Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels is then going to challenge Triple H at WrestleMania, and Shawn Michaels is going to retire Triple H from in-ring competition.
So look at you. Look at you. It all comes together, doesn't it? If Triple
and then it's full circle for those guys. Shawn Michaels retired Triple H, or retired Ric Flair. Now Shawn Michaels can retire Triple H. They have their last match together on the grandest stage of them all.
They can go out hunting together. Isn't that nice? Oh, here's going back to the Cena thing. It's Randy Orton's time with the belt.
That's right. So Orton's going to win the match.
So therefore, Cena has to be over on the other side, kind
exactly.
of.
And then here's what
here you go.
Then you have Orton and Cena for the unification of the world title at WrestleMania.
That sounds good. Sounds good to me, because you know something? This whole second world title thing was great while the brands were split, but now that they're together, it's like, okay, here's one big egomaniac has to have the belt. Here's another guy has to have the belt. So therefore, just merge them all together and we can have one giant feud, 6 contenders for one title. At least it freshens it up, and then have, say, Del Rio down into the United States title sometimes. Make those secondary titles worth something again.
And then WrestleMania, it falls in line then. And you could have CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan, and you have Brock Lesnar against The Undertaker. That's your top 4 matches.
And that's a hell of a pay-per-view. Especially at 30 at the unification. I'd like that.
You know what I mean? You have your 2 main guys, right? Yeah. The big villain Orton against the face of the company Cena. You can call it face of the company, champion versus champion. We'll see who the real face of the company is. Then you have this big emotional build, which you're going to have with Triple H and Shawn Michaels, which only the 2 of them, you know what I mean? Those 2 guys know what's up. And you can even have a special guest referee in that match.
Vince McMahon.
No, you could have Ric Flair as the special guest referee.
And he'll give them both nut shots.
Both nut shots.
Woo!
Well, I mean,
everybody gets a figure for it.
I mean, because there's all this talk about all these guys coming in for WrestleMania. It would be cool because apparently they're trying to get Goldberg in. Because Goldberg versus Ryback would be the next match that I would book. Would be a match I would have at WrestleMania. If that doesn't happen, maybe it's the Big E Ryback kind of feud going into WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Cody against Goldust. Brother versus brother.
See, it looks nice on paper. It does. So I like that. So basically, the faith. How does Orton do it? That's going to be interesting.
Here's what happens: is Orton's going to win because Triple H is going to interfere in the match. Big Show's going to come out when you think Orton is when you think Daniel Bryan needs help.
Mm-hmm.
Orton's going to come, and then Big Show's going to show up. He's going to knock out Shawn Michaels when you think he's going to knock out Orton. Then Triple H is going to stroll down with a referee shirt on. Vince could come back and say, "Big Show, you son of a bitch. I thought you were with me." You could bring in Vince that way too. And then Vince can bring in somebody else. Maybe Vince brings in Hulk Hogan to go against the Big Show at WrestleMania.
Yeah. See.
Can
Exactly.
you imagine that? It kind of mimics WrestleMania 3, Hogan against the Giant.
Exactly. Yeah.
But that's just too. I mean, that's not going to happen. But that's cool.
But that's
And Hogan brought in the Big Show into WCW and brought him in the industry.
Exactly. Oh my goodness! It's going to be convoluted and messed up. And the thing is, if Daniel Bryan loses, which I suspect he does, you're going to see. I want to see blood in this damn thing. In this match alone, I want to see blood. I want to see highlights in black and white. That's what I want to see in this match, because this has to happen like this. If you want to make Randy Orton a beast, there must be.
There's got to be a punch to the head.
A punt, yes. Bring that bad boy back.
Punt's got to come back eventually. Somebody's got to do the. He's got to do the punt on somebody.
Oh, that caused him concussions.
Yeah, but Del Rio's kicks don't, right? Who, mind you, has the best kicks in the business, man? Every one of those kicks.
Yeah.
Bang.
Bang! They always connect for some reason. So I'd like to see the punt. Why not? And then knock Daniel Bryan out for a couple of weeks. That'd be nice. Something's gonna happen. I bet you Shawn gets the RKO, or Triple H comes down. Like Daniel Bryan hits him with the knee, and Shawn Michaels is out. And then so Triple H comes strolling down, gets the referees to open up because he's the COO, and then Shawn Michaels is starting to stand up.
Other referee, his referee's got in his pocket.
The Armstrong, right? So exactly. And then Shawn's staggering up to his feet to try to get the count because Daniel's still pinning him. And then Triple H puts Shawn in the pedigree, knocks him because that's not good for business. And then the other referee screws him, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Big Show comes down, big kerfuffle, and we get to see ourselves. Oh, you know something? I can't predict this one. I just want to see it settled.
Yeah.
So because I have a bad feeling it could be a three-way match.
No, I know. I definitely think that's a very big possibility.
This has to be settled here. And so, if I'm going to go quick gut prediction, Randy Orton.
Yeah, I think Orton's going to win regardless of what happens. But like you can see, they're already planting the seeds for this divide between Triple H and Shawn Michaels again.
Yes.
And just think about the DVD that's going to come back. Greatest Rivalries, Shawn Michaels versus Triple H. Over the years,
yep.
I mean, there was the feud they had when Shawn Michaels first came back with the Elimination Chamber heavyweight title match was unbelievable because I didn't think for a second that Shawn Michaels was going to actually win the title. And the way they sold that his back was still injured, it was perfect.
And the things that they did to him at SummerSlam and all that, that was just sick. So yes, indeed. So that's our predictions. Actually, one more thing. Buy or sell?
Buy.
Wow, nice. Is that good?
Well, I think there's enough questions for me to want to watch it. You know, it's worth because you have really, if you think about it, there's no clear-cut winner in either heavyweight title match.
Yep.
You have some entertaining undercard matches. There's a very good possibility that I think Big E could win. There's 2 Hell in the Cell matches, even though they're not real the Hell in the Cell matches that they used to be. But
there must be blood. I don't care. If Orton wants to be the big beast and be the Viper that he was, he's got to bust that Daniel Bryan open. And Daniel Bryan will be the hero for fighting through all the blood. It just writes itself.
Yeah, exactly. You still build up Daniel Bryan as being the guy that's never going to lay down.
Yeah.
And I think that's the way he's going to be, He's going to be that guy that you can kick the crap out of him, but he'll always come back for more. A la John Cena.
Little John.
Yeah, Little John. That's right.
Little John. Well, thank you, Nolan. As always, it'll be interesting to see what happens, and we'll be back right after this.